Hello, and welcome to another lesson from your counseling department. Today, we're going to be talking about study skills that you can start using today to up your game and get prepared for your final exams. We're going to give you some basic information about time management. We're going to discuss 2 specific techniques you can incorporate into your daily routine and talk about consistency. Learning some specific study skills is extremely important for unlocking your academic potential. Whether you need that help now or you have a difficult class in the future, good study skills can help you feel more confident and less stressed. Good study skills include a mix of proven techniques, good time management, and consistency. Time management is a huge part of staying on top of your school commitments. There are a few different ways that you can up your time management skills. First, set a specific time to do your studying or your homework. Don't just say, I'm going to do it today after school, or I'm going to lock in. That doesn't really mean anything. Think about your schedule and what your life looks like when you're done with school in the afternoon, and set a specific time that you are going to sit down and study or do your homework. When you decide what time works for you after your band commitments or sports or anything else that you need to do when you're done with school, go ahead and pull out your phone and set an alarm to remind you to start studying at that specific time. If one alarm isn't enough, set several. Also, think about sitting down on Sunday night and looking at your weekly schedule. If you sit down on Sunday, you can go ahead and start making a plan for your week. You can think about what days you have extracurriculars after school or other responsibilities you have to take care of. And you can go ahead and make a plan that's going to work with you to study and do homework around those commitments. When you start making that study schedule on Sunday night, that's not a bad time to go ahead and set those alarms for later in the week. So every single day, you'll have an alarm going off that reminds you when to start studying, and it's always going to be at a time that works for you. Also, think about making a list. List all the assignments that you need to complete that week, and then you can make some decisions on how you want to prioritize your work. So you might decide you want to complete the easiest or the shortest assignments first, so you can get those out of the way. You might decide to complete the assignments that are due the soonest, like I've got stuff due on Tuesday, so I better work on that first. If you have bigger assignments or projects that you're working on, you need to break those down into smaller chunks and work on a little bit every day. So if you have a project that's due on Friday, think about sitting down on Monday and working on little pieces of it until it's done by Thursday evening. Then you can spend Thursday evening editing and wrapping it up so it's ready to turn in on Friday. Breaking down these bigger assignments into smaller pieces to work on each day is going to take a lot of stress off of you. It's also going to help stop these cram sessions where you have to sit down for 3 hours trying to get a project done in one evening. You don't need that stress, and we don't want you to have it. 2 of the study skills that we're going to talk about today are the Leitner system and the Pomodoro system. The Leitner technique is a system that uses flashcards, and it's specifically designed to increase your memory retention. The Pomodoro technique uses a timer, and it encourages focused study sessions for short amounts of time with breaks in between. This can help improve your concentration and your productivity. So let's talk about the Leitner box. The Leitner box technique organizes flashcards into boxes based on how well you remember the material. Although this diagram shows 5 boxes, I usually suggest starting with just 3. You start with all of your flashcards in box 1, and then you move them into box 2 if you get them correct. Box 2 contains the flashcards you seem to know pretty well. If you get a flashcard wrong, it goes back into box 1. Box 1 is maybe the material you don't know quite as well. Box 1, you review every single day. And box 2, you review every other day. The goal is to try to get all of your flashcards into box 2 or even into box 3 if you're getting them correct. The more you practice them, the better you're going to retain that information. Let's watch an example of how the Leitner system works. Creating effective flashcards is just as important as how you use them. You should use short, concise questions or vocabulary definitions. Keep it simple. If you put too much information on your flashcards, it's going to be harder to understand and retain. Also, make sure you're writing neatly, not just so you can read them, but if you decide to study with other people, you want them to be able to read the flashcards too. Think about using different colored flashcards for different topics or color coding questions versus vocabulary. There are also phone apps, one which is called Leitner Box, that can help you make virtual flashcards. I will say, however, that writing your own flashcards by hand has been shown to be better for memory and long-term retention. The Pomodoro technique helps boost your focus and productivity while you're studying. Instead of trying to sit down for hours studying, set a timer for 25 minutes. Work diligently for that 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute brain break. When the 5 minutes is up, do another 25-minute session. You repeat this 3 times and then you take a longer break for like 30 minutes. If you find yourself having a hard time working for 25 minutes straight, maybe start with a 10-minute timer and work your way up. The more that you use this technique, the more you're going to train your brain to be able to focus for longer amounts of time. A few more quick tips. Consistency matters. You have to practice these skills every day for the best results, and that includes weekends. Make sure that you have a snack and some water while you're studying. Your brain actually does need fuel in order to work, and if you're hungry or tired or dehydrated, you are not going to be as focused and you will not remember as much. If you're having trouble understanding the material as you're trying to study or do your homework, think about attending academic assistance with your teachers Mondays and Fridays, or hit up the National Honor Society tutors in the library before school. They're there for 45 minutes every day and they're students just like you, so they may be able to explain things in a way that's easy for you to understand. Also, consider forming a study group with your peers and classmates. If you're struggling, I assure you, you're not the only one. You folks should get together and help one another so that you can all get through your assignments and your exams with a little bit less stress and a little bit more support. We encourage you to try one of these techniques in the next week. And if you do, scan this QR code and send us a picture of you using your awesome flashcards, that timer, or both. If you send us a picture of you using some of these study skills, we'll call you down to the counseling department for a little treat. And if you have a minute, please give us feedback. We do these sessions so we can help you guys with whatever it is that you need. So let us know what we're doing well or what we maybe could do better. We appreciate any feedback we can get because we want to help make this useful for you guys as well. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back again with another lesson soon.